The next video is incest. In his book Sexual Life in England, the German sexologist Ivan Bloch mentions that incest was common in England due to the appalling slums where father and daughter, mother and son, brother and sister all had to sleep together in the same bed. However, the two examples of incest he cites come from north of the border. The first is the case of Major Thomas Weir. Born in Lanark in 1600, he served as a lieutenant in the Scottish Puritan Covenanter army in the English Civil War. After the war, he became a civil servant and an admired religious fanatic. Suddenly, at the age of 70, he began confessing a lifetime of terrible sins. At first, no one believed him, and when he persisted, the provost, or chief magistrate, sent for a doctor. But Weir was found to be sane, and his distemper only an exaggerated conscience. So the provost was forced to arrest him. Weir came to trial on the 9th of April 1670, indicted on 4 counts involving the attempted rape of his sister Jane when she was 10 and continued incest with her from when she was 16 to 50. Incest with his stepdaughter Margaret Borden, the daughter of his deceased wife, several counts of adultery and bestiality with mares and cows. The Weir's sister-in-law Margaret testified that at the age of 27 she found the Major, her brother-in-law, and her sister-in-law lying naked together in a barn. There was also a witness to the Major's bestiality with a mare. A woman had seen him in the act and complained, but no one had believed her, and she was whipped through the town by the hands of the common hangman for slander of such an eminent holy man. Weir's sister Jane was also charged with incest and most especially consulting witches, necromancers, and devils. The jury found Jane Weir guilty on an unanimous vote. Major Thomas Weir was convicted by a majority verdict. He was strangled and burned on the execution ground between Leith, and 60-year-old Jane was burned the following day at Grassmarket in Edinburgh. The second case is that of Sawney Bean from East Lothian, who lived in the reign of James I of Scotland, 1406 to 37. He eloped with a young woman equally idle and profligate, and they went to live in a cave in a remote part of Galloway. From there they robbed and murdered passers-by and survived by eating the bodies of their victims. They had 6 daughters and 8 sons. Incest then provided them with 14 granddaughters and 18 grandsons. Their 25-year crime spree was brought to an end when a man escaped after seeing his wife murdered. The king himself, with 400 followers, went to track the Bean clan down. They entered Bean's cave, and men found a treasure trove of stolen goods on the floor and the pieces of the corpses of men, women and children hung from the ceiling like chunks of cured meat. The family, now numbering 21 females and 27 males, were taken to Edinburgh, where they were put to death without trial. The men had their hands and feet cut off and their intestines torn out and were left to bleed to death. After being forced to watch this, the women were burned to death on 3 separate fires. It was noted that all died without the least sign of repentance and continued shouting filthy curses to the last.